Hi everyone, it is Neil from neilpla.com and today is a very special episode. We have a interview with the Milkshake Man himself. It is Gojo from Australia. Before we get into the interview, do remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video and press the notification bell to find out whenever we post something new. And you can also visit neilpla.com for all the links. But without any further ado, let's meet Gojo. Hello and welcome back to neilpla.com. As you can see, we are joined by the wonderful Gojo from Australia, the official Milkshake Man of the 69th Eurovision Song Contest. How are you doing today, Marty?
I am very good, as we say in Australia. What do we say? I'm unreal, mate.
Unreal. Oh, lovely. I'm finding it unreal to have you here. I need to actually stop trying to do Australian accents. I've been doing it ever since Milkshake Man came out. Um, let's talk about Milkshake Man because the reaction seems to have been wild. It must have been a really strange 3 weeks for you. I mean, the Prime Minister's been involved. It's charted in the iTunes chart. Even here in the UK, it's been charting. And we've just seen so many videos of people shouting yum yum all over the internet. How has that been? And has it taken you by surprise at all?
Well, it's been awesome. I love the reaction and when it's to see it explode the way it has is like it's just so cool. And it's again, I write songs all the time, and I never know how they're going to be received until it's actually put out into the world. So when I see that, all these reactions and all the people doing the yum yums, it's awesome. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I can only imagine just how insane it's been. But of course, with the song itself, you co-wrote this with the Legends Shepherd. And aside from this song being full of double entendre, you've told us that it's about feeling the loudest and proudest version of yourself. Can you tell us more about how the Milkshake Man helps you achieve this and how we can learn from that?
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, I wrote the Milkshake Man on a quite a very impersonal experience, as we do as songwriters, and it's about bringing it to life in a way that is relatable to other people. And I've with Milkshake Man, I've created this world around the milkshake, and it's like milkshakes. When you think of the ice cream vans or the milkshake, it's like it's just you feel like a kid, right? And you
Hmm.
feel so apologetically yourself, and it's like that's the world that I try to create with the Milkshake Man. So the Milkshake Man is a mascot of self-confidence and self-expression, a larger than life character who aims to inspire other people to feel the same way.
I mean, I actually like that. I never took into the idea of the ice cream van being sort of a metaphor into that, but I kind of get that now. I like that.
Yeah, 'cause-
Um,
and that was the thing I started with the concept. So I had the concept of I wanted to write a song about, embracing who you are. And I was thinking like, how can you do that through a metaphor? Or, I need to say it in a different way so it's not so obvious because you can't, I mean, writing songs when it's too on the nose as a songwriter, it feels pretty illegal. Um,
yeah,
I was like, like a milkshake, man. It's so fun and vibrant and colorful. And it's like when I was a kid, I loved the milkshake, man, all the ice cream truck and all that. So yeah, it's just creating that world, which I thought worked really well for the song and the concept.
yeah, and it's fantastic concept. And just that music video looked like a lot of fun. It must have been a fun couple of days filming that, or however long that took. Um,
Yeah, it was.
in terms of the selection process, we've not talked. We've I've not heard a lot seen about this, but I'm really interested. Was the Milkshake Man always what you destined to be a Eurovision song? Was this an accident? How did this come about that you would actually reach the biggest stage in Europe?
Yeah, so I went into SBS, and they basically told me that I was going to be representing Australia in Eurovision. And that was when I went on a songwriting camp with Shepherd, and I got to write a song for Eurovision. And again, the concept was screaming at me because I just knew it was something that I wanted to do. And, I know the Eurovision stage obviously is broadcasted to millions of
Yeah.
people. So making sure the message is important was something that meant a lot to me as well. So I remember we ended up writing like 10 songs in the camp,
Oh,
which
really?
was yeah, the Yum Yum part actually came from a separate song, and then we put it into Milkshake Man because we loved the part and we're like, it needs to be in there.
Yeah. I also want to talk about your mum. We've had a question about your mum. We know your mum had to keep it quiet. Um, but how
Oh, I
long
said,
did you have to?
I said Yum Yum.
No, sorry. Um,
Oh, oh, I thought you
um,
said I thought you meant I said my mum.
oh no, no, you didn't say anything weird. Um, we know your mum had to keep quiet. You told her before the announcement. How long did you have to keep this a secret? And how long did you have to keep it a secret from her?
So I told mum as soon as I found out because as soon as I was told, I was all I wanted to do was call mum and dad and tell them. Especially like my dad, because my dad's French and
Mhm.
he's always known the Eurovision contest. Um, and yeah, and then I had to keep it from everyone else for about 3 months.
That seems insane. How could you even manage that? Like, I struggle to
Oh,
keep a secret when I buy a gift for someone.
I use the example of it's literally like eating every single lolly in sorry, every single bit of candy in a candy store and being tied down immediately.
Right. Okay. Got you. I can
It's
understand
always,
that.
you're crazy. You just want to like get up and run for the like, just get all the sugar rush, but you get tied down. It's
You,
so hard.
yeah. What you want to do is you want to have your arms like that, just in the aisles, clearing the shelves, but you're not able to do anything. Um, so we're all expect. Actually, let's go to the fan question about your mum from Tom. He wants to know: Are you going to bring your mum to Basel because she seems like a hoot? That is the question we got.
So to answer your question, Tom, Mum will not be coming to Basel, unfortunately. She doesn't like flying too much. She likes the comfort of her living room, but she'll be yelling at the TV, and I would say that I reckon we're going to get a camera in there and we'll get a reaction. So
Good.
he
A
can take
good 3 a.m. wake up call for her. That's perfect. Um,
Yeah.
I think we're all expecting a huge 3 minute party from you in Basel. You able to give any hints at all at what you've got planned, apart from trying to get Skippy onto the airplane?
I want to keep it a secret. I want to excite everyone. It's like opening a present before Christmas. It loses the magic. So I want to keep the magic in like the unexpected.
That's fair, but can we still get promised the party? There's going to be a 3 minute party, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
There
yeah.
we
I mean, it's the song's about fun and having fun and being the loudest and proudest version of yourself. I want to bring that out in people. I think that is extremely important.
Well, I'm very excited to see what you've got planned. I knew you wouldn't tell us anything, but if you don't ask, you don't get. That's my.
Yeah, I love
Um,
that. I think everyone should live by that.
yeah. You're the 10th artist to represent Australia at the Eurovision Song Contest, which is, of course, a milestone. But what I would like to know is if you had to do a swap song with one of the previous Australian entrants, so they covered the Milkshake Man and you covered their song, what song would you choose and why?
I'd actually, that's a good question. I love Sound of Silence. I would go Dami, but I'm just thinking about Dami's vocal. That is like, it's such an incredible vocal, and I feel like only she can do that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I also want to hear her sing Milkshake Man. So I think I just like, I just have to spend the next 7 years just mastering that vocal of what she did on that song because it's so incredible.
I mean, we could. I'm struggling to imagine Dami's vocal with the lyrics of the Milkshake Man, but I think,
Exactly right.
uh,
That's what's so exciting about music is the unexpected.
yeah,
And I feel like that's when magic happens in the unexpected, where you make like it's often even when I'm producing music and like say I'm moving a snare drum over to put it into a pre-chorus, but it accidentally drops somewhere randomly in the second verse. It always 99% of the time it ends up being such a good idea and I end up keeping it. It's just, it's when your brain's like, I never would have thought of that, but it's happening and it's working.
yeah, no, I completely get that. But oh, that image now, we need to make that happen. Dami, if you watch this somehow, Make it happen. Um, we know Eurovision is a huge deal in Australia, and of course, you said your dad is French, so grew up with Eurovision. Do you have any particular earliest memories of Eurovision? Anything that made you particularly fall in love with it?
It's actually, I remember the performance of Waterloo by ABBA, and I remember the guitarist, Bjorn, his name is. He
Yep.
had his guitar that he played. It looked like one of those speech bubbles you see in comic books where like they're like kapow. It was just I remember seeing it. I think I was 4 years old at the time. Where my dad had it on like a VHS. Because a long
Old
story
school,
short,
perfect.
yeah. And when I grew up, like we were off grid. We were on like a full self-sustaining property, so we didn't
Mhm.
have like the TV was very rare when we had it on. But I remember glimpses of that performance.
I mean, what a performance to remember as well. Probably the most famous act of Eurovision of all time. So
Oh,
absolutely. Unless, you might take it over. You were the ninth streamed most Australian last year. Who are we gunning for this year? Are we going to try and take over Troye Sivan, take over Kylie? How we trying
of
in that
course.
streaming?
That's a competitive nature. We have to, of course.
Right, we do have some more fan questions before we leave you. The one that we got asked mo again and again, but particularly from just a bit visionary, is: Are we going to see you at any pre-parties before Basel?
I have to say, watch this space.
Watch the space. That's not a
I'll
confirm
be
or a
posting
deny.
everything on my social media channels.
Yeah, it's Hey, I'm Gojo. There you go. There's the plug. Um, from Luke, have you ever heard any of the other songs competing this year, and do you have any favorites of the ones you have heard?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it's funny because I made a very fun and energetic song, but I love the ballads. I love Zoe Me's performance of
Hmm.
Voyage, and I love Italy's Lucio Corsi. I love that song as well. They're my favorite ones. But I think my rival is pretty obvious, and I think it's Tommy Cash.
Oh, you're a fan of Espresso Macchiato?
Oh, it's such a good song as well. I listened to it and I'm like, it's such a good song. It's like just hooky, and I love the production on it and the verses, how it feels like I'm in like a bar in Mexico. It's just so cool. I think he's nailed it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
that's.
his entrance has been really good. I've been listening to the playlist a lot.
Oh, there's something for everyone, and that's a great thing about Eurovision.
Yeah, that's what I
If
love
you
it. It's so diverse.
Yeah. If you had one hope for your time in Switzerland later this year, what would it be? What's your overall goal?
Well, I know it's not going to be snowing, and I've never seen the snow, and obviously I feel like Switzerland is always known for the snow. But
We could,
my overall goal is just to meet everyone and come over and just be just completely submersed in the Eurovision community. I think it's already been so cool, as a spectator from all the previous years to now being a part of it. It feels like a whole different thing, which is so cool. And yeah, I'm just excited to meet everyone. And if people see me in the street, I would love for them to come up to me and say hello and talk about our
if
crazy upbringings and stories.
if I know Eurofans the way I know Eurofans, that's going to happen. You don't need to worry about that. That's absolutely going to happen. We do have one final question for you before we let you go. This is the Neil Poix question, also known as the no point question. There's absolutely no point to this question. Now, normally this is a would you rather that we randomly generate, that people randomly choose, but we've written one specifically for you. So, for every meal, would you rather have to drink a broccoli flavored milkshake or have a side of milkshake flavored broccoli, but you get to choose the flavor, but it has to be the same flavor every time?
Oh wow.
We
You
know
know,
you love broccoli.
yeah, I was gonna say, you realize I love broccoli, so they're both great options.
Oh, that's why we wrote it for you.
I've never had a broccoli milkshake, so I would have to say number two because I think a broccoli milkshake every time it could It depends if I could put the ingredients in. If I could make the broccoli milkshake. No, actually, I don't know. Milk and broccoli. Yeah, it's just
It's 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 a very. We told you it's a no point. There's no point to this question. It's just one of those stupid would you rather's. But that's it. It's been a pleasure to have you on Neil Poit, Gojo. Uh, do remember to follow Gojo at Hey I'm Gojo and stream the heck out of the Milkshake Man. It is my most played song this year so far, according to Apple Music. I'm so in love with it. And we will see you next time on neilpod.com. Goodbye.
when I say sweet, sweet, you say.
Yum, yum.